welcome back to Hopop. Today we're just going to be discussing a bit more of a chilled video. I'm just going to be talking about how much I love Disgaea. Now, God, I love this series. I was sort of forced into it, kind of, because I had a friend who he sometimes went by Noel, sometimes went by Leon. He kind of changed and swapped his name around, and he loved Disgaea. And then it sort of kind of got me interested in it, and like from there. Now, Disgaea is a very... I don't know how you describe Disgaea. I think the best way a lot of people have described it is anime chess. It's a... If you don't know, I guess the best way I can describe it, is anime chess. It's sort of a 3D... No, it's sort of a strategy battle board simulator thing. So like you get your thing, and you get the enemies. So you have to select your characters from the portal, move around the board, kill them. And it sounds kind of boring. And this is coming from someone who's like me. I'm not an RPG gal. I'm not. I'm really not. I'd like to be. I'd love to be, but I'm not. I've just never really gotten into RPGs. There's about 3 or 4 that I've genuinely liked. I liked Persona 5. I liked Persona 5. I liked Final Fantasy 15. I liked some of Final Fantasy 7 from what I've played of it, but not loved it. I've liked... What else have I liked? Oh, Disgaea, obviously. I loved. No one's fucking heard of it. No one's heard of it. Should make a video on it one day. I need to spoil it. But Magical Star Sign, which I think is made by the same guys who made Chrono Cross? Maybe? Chrono Trigger? I think? Not Toriyama, because I think he made the designs. But the people who made like the gameplay of Chrono Trigger, which is another RPG I like, also made thingy. I don't know. But yeah, Disgaea. So far there are 6 main entries with a couple spin-offs. Not all the games are anime chess, such as, well, the 6 games are anime chess, and then this one of the side games, D2, which is a sequel to the first game, which is a direct sequel to the first game, is that anime chess. But then you get the pre-name games, which are more... They're more, like platformers? Yeah. Also, I know I'm using the art for the DVD, for the anime, which I know the anime is kind of but honestly, a lot of me having to find a suitable image is just kind of bleh. Also, this anime is for the first game, which I'm not really talking about the first game in particular. I'm talking about the series overall. In fact, I've barely played the first game. The series, it's funny because like when we'll call him Leon just for consistency. When Leon first got me into Disgaea, it was I can't remember. I think it was 4, Disgaea 4, and I just fell in love with the characters because you get your main character. Each game has a different protagonist. It has like a GTA kind of approach. Like not really, it's a shit example, but every game kind of has its own continuity basically. But it's all set in the world, and you also get characters coming over. For instance, tell you what, it's very much like Final Fantasy. It's a big RPG. Every game's thingy, but there are some bleed overs, if you know what I mean. For instance, Disgaea 4, you can get DLC for our main characters here. The one in the blue is Laharl. The one in the red is Etna, and the one in the blonde is Flon. Yeah, what drew me really into when I first started playing Disgaea 4. What first got me into the world was just the humor of it. The character designs are pretty cool, but a lot of the time the females are kind of sexualized, which is kind of whatever. But I mean, I suppose you could say like, oh, Etna, she looks about 4, and don't worry, it's not. She's actually a 4,000-year-old lolly dragon, so it's fine. Also, she did no, she's it. It has a very they are all adults, but it has that very chibi style. So don't worry, these are not children, nor are they actually 400-year-old dragons. No, it's sort of like what's it called, World of Final Fantasy, where everything was intentionally chibi-ized, or like Pokemon, or that kind of thing. Yeah, because we do see, well, I suppose, well, Laharl is intended to be about human age, maybe about 15, 14. I'd say Etna's about 18, 19. Flawn, about the same, yeah. But yeah, a lot of what drew me in was the thing, the humour of the series, its personality. Because God, does it have a personality? I don't want. I did record, but I didn't put out. I kind of just deleted it. A video on One Piece. I'm talking about why I'm not really much of an anime fan. However, I do like some. I do like the ones who they have a personality. It's not just, hey look, we're trying way too hard to be badass. Also, where it genuinely has something to say, it has a personality. Yeah, it has humor to it, and this guy really works in that case because, well, the main character of 4 has Valvatores. He's a vampire who if you're from the UK, you likely know who Duckula is. He's basically Duckula. He's a former vampire who just likes to eat sardines. Kind of like how Duckula, if you don't watch Duckula, it's basically National Treasure David Jason voices a vampire duck who's a vegetarian. Because something went wrong when he was resurrected. It's such a British setting. I love it. But Valvatores, he's a vampire who just loves sardines. And like, I just made the connection there, but even when I was first playing Disgaea 4, I was like, oh my god, Fenric is basically just Igor, isn't he? Because in Duckula, Igor is I think he's a buzzard? He's his ward, his butler. And he's very much like, oh my lord, stop vegetarianism, you're supposed to be evil, go. I mean, there's a village down there, oh, it's blood, you could, just bite our tune, that might fix you, And then, but he's still fiercely loyal. In Disgaea 4, you get Fenric, who's a werewolf, and he's very loyal, despite the fact that he's like, sir, you could, sardines are great and all, don't get me wrong, sardines are good. But you could kill one or two. I mean, I know you made that promise, but like, yeah, I've not really gotten into the story in Disgaea 4, because, again, it's a very complicated system, to say the least. So I didn't really get far with it. But from what I gathered, the story is basically he tried to kill someone called Artina, and then felt bad about it. I don't know why he feels bad about it. Then he said, I promised not to kill anyone anymore. Took up sardines, and then was just, and then he went from like King Prince to just Prinny Instructor, which is like the most demoralizing position anyone can have. Oh god, I should probably playing Prinnies. So Prinnies are, you can't see them properly in the image there. However, you can. There's the shadow of one against the moon there. Prinnies are basically resurrected souls, because Disgaea takes place in the Netherverse. It takes place in Hell, and Prinnies are basically little penguin dudes who they're basically like humans that have been evil, humans that have done wrong in life, so they're sent to Hell and they become Prinnies to serve the demons. which is what the residents of Disgaea are. And because they're getting into too many spoilers, and one of my favourite characters from the series is Fuka. Now, Fuka, from what I remember, she was she's quite young. She's like about 16, 17. She was a delinquent. She would beat people up and destroy shit and rob things. And then one day something went wrong. She got hit by a car. When she was sent to hell, and it's because they didn't have enough printing material left, she was given a hat. But it's kind of tragic because she doesn't know she's dead. She just thinks this guy has a dream. She's in the 4th game and again, with Bleed Over, she's in the 4th game and in the 5th game. I think I'm going to this guy 4. But yeah, I've not just played that. I've played bits of Pretty because I've got it on my PSP. I don't play my PSP often because I usually just play the PSP when it's time to go out, when I'm on journeys and that. So I play Pretty then. And I've also played the one I played by far the most is Disgaea 5, because again, but Disgaea 5 was new at the time, because I got into the series like 2016, 2017. Yeah, about that. And that's when I started. Actually, no, before then. Probably before then. Jesus. Yeah, so Disgaea 5 would have been like brand new at the time, and I just picked that up. I was like, I liked 4 when I played it. And then 5, really, a lot of people consider 5 to be the best one because it's so expansive and so in depth, and you can do a lot with that. And that's when I started to get good at the gameplay. I've gone back to 4, and I've still not really stuck with it, but that was mainly because at the time my PS3 was conking out, and I've played it on the PC, but it ran like shit anytime I didn't have it on because the laptop I've got is just the laptop I use to record and everything. It's just a small little, like, I guess a work laptop more than anything. So it's not really built for games or anything like that. But I did have Disgaea 4 thanks to Game Pass. Why it's not on Xbox? I don't fucking know. Yeah. Disgaea 5 is so good. I've played all the DLC, I've played the story twice. I've got it twice. I've got it on the Xbox and I've got it on the Switch. Not the Xbox, the PlayStation 4. No, I've not played the PlayStation 4 version, and I don't want my PlayStation 4 conked out. So that's why I've got the Switch version, and yeah. I've also got about 300 hours on. 300 hours each. Maybe more on the Switch, maybe like 600, 700 hours. Because it's a really good background game. Again, you can just, because you get the item world, and Disgaea has, well, the item world is basically, in the game you get a lot of items, and then you can like hop into the item world and level that item up. I don't know what the most, not the max level is, but yeah. So a lot of time is spent on that, just like listening to music, talking to friends, like calling my partner, playing that. It's fun. Disgaea also has a really unique thing of the post game is much bigger and more expansive than the main game. It's weird. You might think, what the fuck, that just sounds lazy, but when you... It's weird because the main story is kind of the tutorial for Disgaea, which is a weird, unique thing Disgaea has, because you play the main story and that's great. Story's usually great, but then you beat the game and usually that's it. You usually get a couple of quests. That's about it. No, because usually in Disgaea you beat the game and unlock the Carnage dimension, which means you can like hop across universes and beat like the massive bosses. One thing that Disgaea also gets known for is being number porn, which sounds weird, but it means like there's lots of points. Like what's your max level in like most RPGs? 999. About that, yeah. in Disgaea, it can go all the way to like 9 million, 9,009,900, etc. It's just like, it's insane. And the amount of damage you eventually do is, yeah, it's called number porn because there's a lot of fucking stats involved, and it's. I don't want to sound gatekeepy, but honestly, at times it can feel as expansive like Dungeons and Dragons. Not to that level. Just Christ, no. It's like a thesaurus full of like a thesaurus thickness and like rulebook. I'm like, no, thank you. But yeah, even RPG veterans say Disgaea is like difficult, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about Disgaea for a bit. Plus, I didn't really. I usually try to stick between one video a week, and it's been about a week since my last one, so time is running quickly. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's just stop with Disgaea, because I was listening to Arcanian Vampire from the 4th game. I was like, you know what, fuck, I've not discussed Disgaea on the channel. I think I mentioned it in my fandoms video. Other than that, I need to talk about more. Plus, I've done too many my Doctor Who reviews recently. So yeah, what do you think of it? Have you seen it before? Played it before? Answer in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.